Good afternoon, everybody. It is David Perlmutter from QuantumListing, and welcome to today's webinar, How to Advertise Your Listings on QuantumListing's Google Display Network. So let's have a look at today's agenda. First, for those of you that are new to QuantumListing, we'll give you a minute or two on what QuantumListing actually is, and then we will dive right into the Google Display Network. We'll talk a little bit about it, and then we'll go to the site and show you how you can take a Google Display Network ad through QuantumListing. And we will field all of your questions and hopefully have answers, and we'll talk about what it costs and how to get in touch with us. So let's get going. So QuantumListing is a commercial real estate listing platform that gives your listings maximum exposure by offering a range of features, including the Google Display Network, so that you can market your properties without breaking your budget. You can post an unlimited number of listings with the ability to market them seamlessly on all forms of popular social media. And even better, there's no paywall for potential buyers or tenants to view your properties on our site. So today our focus is on our on-demand advertising, and specifically advertising with the Google Display Network. We have listing promotion, where your listings go to the top of searches on our site, brand promotion, where you can promote your personal or company brand on our site so that your stuff shows up on the first page of searches in your market. But today we're going to talk about advertising with Google on the Display Network, where your ads for your listings show up on sites other than QuantumListing. And it's a really great way, very cost-effective way to get an incredible amount of exposure for your listings. And you'll see that as we go through this. So let's first talk about what the Google Display Network is. There are two main types of ads that you can get from Google. One are the Google search ads. Those are the ones when you type in a search query into Google, you get a list, and you see at the top of the list, some of them are marked as ads. That's not what we are here to talk about today. Those are great, don't get me wrong. However, in an asset class like commercial real estate, a Google search ad could cost you between $15 and $30 a click. Now, if you're getting a solid lead that converts into a deal, it's well worth, the $15 or $30. And again, it could be less, it could be more. It really, Google uses an auction system, so the price is not fixed for that. What we decided to do is use the Google Display Network, where you end up getting a lot more bang for your buck. And you'll see what we mean later, but basically, with the display network, your ad is being shown to people who are on the websites that they normally visit, and it shows up at the top, the side, or the bottom of that website. And it is so the difference, according to Google, between the two types of ad is that search ads are a form of pull advertising. They're pulling, and then the display ads are push advertising. So what would cost you $15 or more or less, on the display on the search network is probably going to cost you, $1 or $2 on the Google Display Network. So you can get a lot more clicks for your dollar on the Google Display Network. So the Google Display Network has more than 2 million websites, videos, and apps where your ads can appear. It's a collection of websites, including Google Finance, Gmail, Blogger, and YouTube that show ads. And there's also mobile sites and apps on which these ads show as well. So if you want to reach a really wide audience, display ads are a great solution. And the other thing you should know about Google display ads, or all Google ads in general, is that their machine learning helps serve your ad to an affinity group, a group of people that are more likely to be interested in commercial real estate than not. And it's and the more you use these ads, the smarter the algorithm gets, and the more likely it is that you're going to have the right people looking at your ad. So that is sort of the short version of, or maybe not so short version of, what these ads are. So tell me more. Okay, yes, I'll pause here and see if anybody has any questions about the display network before we look at more examples on our site. And while we're waiting for that, I will go on to the next slide. Yeah, that is the next slide right here. And you can add your questions in the chat also, and as I notice them, I will field them. Online advertisement, when you're signing up on QuantumListing and you select that you want to send something to the Google Display Network on your listings, you'll get this form. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to type in the listing title, and once it has been selected, once you see the one that you want, you click on it and the little green dot will show up. And then the next thing you need to know is the location. So the default location where your ad is going to show is the market where your listing is. You can add a second location if you want, or if you don't want it to show in that market at all, then you can eliminate that market and pick up to 2 other locations instead where your ad will be shown. We had one of our users who had a listing, and it was in a community that he didn't think the people that lived there would be the likely buyers for his medical building. But there were 2 adjoining communities that he thought might be better suited for it, and so he selected those as the place where his ad would be served. So you can do that. And then the other thing, there's a minimum budget of $25 for each listing ad, and we cap it at like $4 or $5 a day, so your ad will run for at least 4 or 5 days, and you can also do a $50 ad or a $100 ad, and choosing more money doesn't mean your listing will get on better websites. It just means it will show for more days. It does take time for Google to approve ads. Our experience is that it's about 24 hours, and we will monitor your ad to make sure it fits Google's advertising guidelines. You can't just put whatever you want on there and Google automatically approve it. For instance, they don't like if the subject line for your ad is all capital letters. They don't like exclamation points. So those don't work either. If you are advertising a retail center and it's called the Walmart Center, they don't like that either, because the ad goes to your listing about a Walmart center and not to actual Walmart. So there's these little quirks which we've gotten pretty experienced with, and we make sure that it fits. There's also a limit as to the number of characters that you can have in the title and then in the description. So, we'll make sure that your ad makes sense. The one thing I will say that is completely in your control with these ads is the image. These ads all feature an image. It's going to be the first picture in your listing. So they call the hero picture, the one that is at the top of your listing and the one that shows when your listing shows. And a good picture makes a big difference in the number of clicks that your listing is going to get. So when you're doing this, please do pick a good picture. You should always have that first picture be a great shot anyway, but especially in this case too. So let's look at some of the analytics from some of the people that have used this service on our site. So here is somebody who has run, looks like ads 5 times, or at least in, sorry, I take that back. This is a single ad that ran over 5 days. And you can see that in this particular, or it could have been a couple of ads. So this is a week's worth of data that you're looking at right here. And during this week, they got 76,310 views on their ads on these other websites. And of those 76,310 views, it got 13 clicks. So I'm guessing this is probably just one single ad. And
49 clicks. That's 13 is just that one day.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Thank you, Julia. I misspoke. So great results here on this ad or ads. I'm sorry that I don't know which that was, but even if it was 2 or even 3 different ads, 49 clicks is pretty great. And so that means 49 times that people have gone to QuantumListing, to that specific listing, to look at it and see what it's all about. Here's another person that did some ads, and here the views and clicks are switch around. So over here, in this particular instance, this is their views over all time. So they've run ads multiple times between January and June. They did 1, 2, so 5 different ads, and they got 184,888 views on these other websites of their listings. And with those 184,000 views, they got 192 clicks. So, again, they must have spent a minimum, since it's 5 times, of $125. So they're paying, between, just under $2 for each click, as opposed to, a multiple of that if it was a search ad. And here is a third example, and this is somebody who's run ads 2 times, and I know for a fact they just spent $25 each time. This is a guy in Texas, and got a total of 82,643 views and 31 clicks. So again, it's between $1 and $2 per click, which I can tell you is great. And if you run paper ads in a newspaper or like a real estate journal, you're going to pay $400 or $500. Like I used to advertise in the New York Real Estate Journal, and I think that for my brokerage business, I think I paid $500 a month. Their circulation, I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I can tell you there's no way that 82,000 people saw my ad. each time, or 40,000 people saw that ad each time because their circulation wasn't that high, and I didn't get enough traction on those ads to make me want to continue with them. But I did it for a while, and advertising is a long-term investment too. So it's not just, yes, of course you want to generate a sale from it, but it's also creating brand name recognition so that when people are ready to buy, they know who to go to. So, keep that in mind when you're allocating your advertising dollars. So here is a screenshot of a chart of 6 of our members that ran ads, and this is from June of 2020. And we are saying that somebody who spent $50 got 64,000 plus views, 59 clicks. The $100 spend got 126,000 views and 93 clicks. Another one with $50 got very similar to the first one, 64,054 clicks. So there are two $25 spends that one got 52,000 plus clicks, the other 32,000 plus. And if you look more towards the right, you can see the markets where they were and what the cost per click. So the range of the cost per click for these ads was 93 cents to $1.52 on the high side for one up in Massachusetts. And you can also see here that a lot of the people who do these ads think they're effective, so they do them again and again. And I can tell you from my comparison of doing these ads and the traction and the views and the clicks that I get for my listings when I do them compared to what happens on LoopNet. When I run these ads, I am getting way more views and clicks on my listings than I am from LoopNet. And it's not to disparage LoopNet, but it's just, this is something that's geared directly to you. CoStar as a company spends $100 million a year on Google advertising. But that $100 million is being spread out over hundreds of thousands of listings. So the chance that you're getting the same kind of love from them that you can give yourself here with the display ads is pretty slim. So when you do this, you will see fantastic results in terms of views and clicks. And anybody who's been doing commercial real estate for any amount of time knows that it's a game of numbers, and you have to generate a lot of leads in order to make a single deal. And not every lead converts, and for 100,000 different reasons. But and you can see that like the cost per view of these things is not even a thousandth of a penny, but it's a 10,000th of a penny here. So you're getting a lot of eyeballs for not a lot of money. So one of our wonderful members is a broker from Illinois named Becca Carlson. And Becca not only is a commercial real estate broker, but she has a marketing company called Carlson Integrated. And here is what Becca had to say about these ads. While there's been a proliferation of listing sites over the last few years, I'm personally partial to a company called QuantumListing. In addition to absolutely loving their leadership and their platform, thanks Becca, we love you too, they have a Google ad integration that is staggering. It's literally a couple of clicks, crazy easy, and you can start an ad campaign for a property. I ran 2 of these last week and I could not believe the results. I did one for my property in Geneva, Illinois, and I spent the $25 which is the minimum, and it came in at like 36,000 views on Google and 17 click-throughs. So people use that to get to the site and learn about the property. And I actually had a showing yesterday from this, and that's the only way they could have found me. It was a residential broker from Geneva. There's no way they could have found me otherwise. I was very excited, and I've done the Google ads before, and to do them yourself, they're very incredibly complex. Even as a marketer, I can't stand them. The fact that you've already set all this up is like the best thing in the whole wide world. So this is genius. Thank you. I've never had that much exposure from an ad, and I didn't have to learn Google ads in order to do it. So before I started Quantum Listing, I did run some Google ads of my own, and I can tell you it is a fairly steep learning curve to get these done and done right. And then I didn't at the time use the display network, so not only was it a lot of work to get to know how to use this, it cost me a lot of money. So I'm really amped about this because I think it's so effective and super easy. So you're probably saying it all sounds interesting, but what does it look like? Well, what it looks like depends on the screen. And another one of the things that the geniuses at Google have figured out is how to make your ad fit whatever screen the viewer is using. So these are examples, I believe, of different mobile versions of an ad, or possibly maybe the one on the right is, and on the bottom are from desktop units. But here the one on the left is an image ad that's 160 pixels wide by 600 high. The one to the right of it, the two to the right of it are both 300 by 250. One of them you see has the image of the building, which is actually a rendering of it, and the one below does not. That's just a Google display text ad. And then the one at the bottom is a 480 pixels wide by 120 high. So these are examples that look great and they work. Here are ones. I guess they were all from all from desktop, and these are cell phone versions. I should have known that because they have the little cell phone image. So this is what it would look like on a cell phone. All right, so I'm going to now head over to Quantum Listing, and we will have a look at how to do this. Oh, that's Elliot Silverstone. Hello, Elliot. Oh, I need to. I was looking at his analytics before. Okay, so this is my profile page on Quantum Listing. If you haven't used Quantum Listing yourself yet and you don't have an account, your profile page is really your home base on Quantum Listing. And everything you do, other than searching, is really controlled from your profile page. And the way you'll get to your profile page from anywhere on the site is to click the little head and shoulders icon at the top right. And if you hover over it long enough, it says go to my profile. So we're already there. Now, there are a few different ways that you can start a Google display ad. So one is by clicking the three little dots at the top of a listing. So let's do that right now. Okay, so when that happens, a page opens up on our site. Looks like it's still loading. Okay, so it's giving me a choice of several of my listings here, and this is the one that I want to do. And it says Montvale, New Jersey, which is where the listing is, and I'm also going to have it shown in the rest of Bergen County. So I'm going to type that in the box below, click on that, and so now it will show up in both Bergen County and in Montvale. All right. So then the next decision you have to make is how much you want to spend, and I'm going to just spend $25 this time. And once I've done that, I am going to click Create Order, and a window will open up for PayPal, and that is how I'll finish my ad. So I have to log into my Perlmutter Properties PayPal account, and then I'm going to click Continue, and all right, so now it's pending approval at Google, and we'll monitor this and make sure that it will go ahead as planned. Taking a little bit of time there, so you can see it took less than a minute to get it done, and here's my ad. It's paid for. If you want to know what the listing was that I selected, you click on the little information button. You'll notice down here that the payment was added successfully, and so it doesn't take a lot of work to get that done. And then again, we'll get a notification that you took the ad, and we'll monitor it to make sure it's approved and that it fits the Google guidelines. All right, I will once again pause for questions. Anybody have one? And Julia, you can tell me if I forgot anything already too. So, so I did. Okay, so I said there were multiple ways to do that. So the first one we did was by clicking the three dots and then clicking Advertise on Google. I can also up here there's a link to the Marketing Center, and you can start your ad by clicking the red dot, the green dot for the Marketing Center, and then selecting which option you want. And in this case, I chose the Google Display ad, and then so there we go. Make sure that you have online advertisement selected here, and if you wanted to do listing promotion or e-blast or brand promotion or a combination of those, you would click one of these other options, and then you just click Create the Order, and you go through that same process that we just did. And let's say now that instead of Montvale, and instead of showing in the area where the listing is actually located, I'm going to pick this, and instead I'll pick up to 2 locations. And here I'm going to say let's do Westchester County, because that's a wider catch basin. Let's just make sure I have it right. Westchester County, so you select it from the drop-down menu. And all right, so right now I'm going to say, well, I don't want to have it show in Chappaqua, so I'm going to X out of that, and now I can go back and pick another location, and maybe I'll say Mount Kisco is a bigger town than Chappaqua. Maybe somebody from Mount Kisco wants to do that. So, and then I would click Create Order and go through the same process. Oh, another thing which I forgot to point out is that if you want to be notified when your budget is almost expended for your ad, you click send a renewal alert, and we'll send you a little notice a day or two before your ad spend is about to expire. So that is the second way that you can do this. And well, I'm going to turn my camera off because I think it's bogging down my computer a little bit. All right, and then the third way is you can go to the Payments and Marketing Center and start it there. And it really brings you to the same place as that green dot. We just wanted to give you another way to do it. And I believe there's one more way that we can do this. Let's go to another listing right here. This is some land we have for sale in New Jersey. And click on the dot, the icon down here, the sharing icon, because this is another way of sharing your listing. And then click on the G for Google, and then it will once again start your ad. In this case, the ad is pre-selected, and you don't need to go through the process of selecting. Actually, you still do, because it came up with two options. So, and in this case, Packong, New Jersey is where the either Stanhope. It's right on the border between Packong and Stanhope, and also pick the county, Sussex County, just so that more people will be exposed to it. And I'm going to click Create the Order, and that's really how you do it. Not too hard, and goes pretty quickly. And you know what? I'm going to actually pay for this ad right now too. We'll run it, and this is land that is unimproved, and it's there's no streets going to it. There are going streets right near it. There's no utilities going through it. It would have to be well in septic. So even a hot housing market has not yet found a buyer for this, but we're getting a little more nibbles now than we had been for a while. So that really is everything that I wanted to share with you about the Google Display Network and how to do the ads on them. And I will pause once again for any questions you might have. And I will also go back to our slide deck. Hang on. That's okay. All right, we got through that. All right, and while we're waiting for your questions, let me know if you have any questions. QuantumListing, if you're not a member yet, is just $89.99 a year for unlimited listings. You can promote listings to the top of searches in their market for $2.50 a week or $7.50 a month per listing. Brand promotion and network promotion, that's where you're advertising your company so that it shows up at the top of searches in your market. That's either $50 a month, $125 for 3 months, or $400 for a year. And you can get 20% off your brand promotion ad for watching this today by network using the promo code network20. Online advertisement is what we've been talking about. So you have the 3 different options of $25, $50, or $100. And again, the only difference is the duration that the ad will run, and by, I guess, in the number of views and clicks you'll get also, but that will vary from market to market. Network email blasts, where we will send out one of your listings to our list. when you're a premium member, we'll do one of them for free for you. And then if you want to do more, it's $25 for one, $100 for five, and $200 for 12. Doesn't have to be the same listing every time. And then there are different ways that you can market your listings for free with Quantum Listing. You can send out your own email blasts of an individual listing or your profile with all of your listings. And that is included with your membership. And lead capture on your listings also included with your membership. You can also share your listings to your social networks by clicking a couple of buttons on our site. You can share your listings through group chat with the other people in Quantum Listing who have an interest in your state. So there are lots of different ways, in addition to Google Display Network, that you can use Quantum Listing to promote your listings. I think that is the end of our formal presentation today, and I want to say thank you to you for giving us some of your time today, and thank you to Julia for all your help in preparing for today's webinar, and I think that is it for today.
Thank you, David. And we do have a question from Edward.
Oh, please. I lost the chat box here.
Oh, no problem. He said, hi, aside from advertising in Google Ad, where does the listing advertise to?
Well, so it's not it's going to websites that people browse. So it could be a news site, it could be a sports site, it could be on YouTube, it could be on Google Business. There's 2 million different websites that use Google Display Ads. So the list is vast. Anytime that you see advertising on a website, there's, I think, 80% of the ads on those websites are coming from the Google Display Network. So it is, a giant list of things. And as I mentioned earlier, that Google, their machine learning, looks at the type of thing that's being advertised, and they try to figure out where the best place to serve it is. So, if it's an office space for rent or a medical building for sale, they're probably not going to serve it up to a video game that has advertising on it. And it's going to be more likely to be on a news website or something business related. So they've got that one down pretty well. I hope that answered your question, Edward. Anybody else have a question?
Just to add on to that, just to be clear, Edward, also, any ad that is using the Google Display Network is already on our website. So today we're talking specifically about that feature, but you also can find the listing on our website, and in search engine results, we have a heavy focus on search engine optimization to make sure that your listings are showing up on Google searches, on Bing searches, etc. So, this Google Display ad is something additional. But if you're a member of our site and you add your listings, they're also going to get a lot of exposure.
That's a great point, Jillian. Thanks for bringing that up. I mean, every month our members' listings will show up in Google search results, organically though, not paid, like about 1 million times a month. And as a result of that, 60% or more of our traffic is either coming directly to your listings on our site or even to your user profile on our site. So, for that reason, it is important to make sure that when you're adding your profile to our site, that you add a profile picture, that you add a link to your LinkedIn if you have it, or any other business social media, that you add your website, that you add a little bio to it, because all those things are content which Google can then crawl and index and then serve up to members. So, our users' profiles and our listings are, on the first and second pages of Google all the time. I mean, enough so that, they're showing up a million times a month. So, and, that's a number that keeps growing as we get, more listings and more members too. So, it is, that's, that doesn't cost you anything extra to show up organically. But if you want to stack the deck in your favor on a particular listing, then spend the $25. And one of the nice things about, at least I think it's a nice thing about the way that we've done this with QuantumListing, is that you get to control your budget and spend the money when you want to on the listings that you want to. If you're looking at, LoopNet, you're paying, hundreds of dollars a month, every month for each listing. And, yes, they're spending a lot of that on ads, but if you're doing a retail space for lease, and you've been doing this for a long time, you know that between Thanksgiving and Christmas, retailers are not looking for their next location. So, why not save your money for January when everybody has gone through the Christmas season, seen how well they did, and they'll know whether they really want to open up another store next year. So, you can sort of, put your foot on and off the gas as you judge, rather than having to spend a lot of money all the time and being locked into it. So, that's um, something that, it's a little bit more effort on your part, but I think the return on investment can be significantly higher, because a commission that you're getting the same commission if you're spending $25 or if you're spending $300. And it, to me, I like spending the 25 more than the 300. So, but your mileage may vary. Any other questions that have come up, Julia?
Yeah, and then Edward also just asked a question regarding Buildout. He said, Buildout is connected to your site, correct? And you are correct, Edward. Users can syndicate from Buildout to our site, and their listings come through that way. And then he asked, what is the difference of listing it on QuantumListing itself? And I'm assuming he means as opposed to doing it through Buildout.
Uh, that's a great question. And if you're a Buildout user, once you add it to Buildout and you have selected us as a syndication partner, you don't have to do anything else. That listing will flow to us automatically, and as you update the listing on Buildout, it will update on QuantumListing and anywhere else that you're syndicating from Buildout in real time. So it's really, just a time-saving thing. Your listing gets the same, love from search engines, whether you add it manually or whether you're adding it through Buildout. So either way, you're in great hands. We also have syndication relationships with RealNex, which just started, and with Sharp Launch, and one that's coming online with Commercial Real Estate Collaborative. And we also can syndicate from our site to Levitt Digital, which has a network of about 500 plus local news sites. And once you select that syndication, they automatically flow to them. So a lot of good options for you to get the word out as much as you can. Anything else, Julia?
Awesome. Yes, awesome. Actually, David, Julia, thank you for answering those questions. Just a quick follow-up.
Yep.
So basically, um, it's just an add-on. If ever we subscribe to Quantum Listing, the Google Ad experience with the membership, it's just an add-on compared to Buildout. Is that correct?
That is correct. It's very reasonable. It's an annual membership for $90 a year, and you can add unlimited listings, and then anything else you want to do through us, it will be an incremental charge, but everything's pretty reasonably priced.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. We're really glad that you were here with us today. Thank you, everybody else. All right, I think